Here we are again. I'm Jeff Schwartz, and this is our October 2024 shop update video. Can you believe it? 2024 is coming close to an end. Anyway, let's see what we got going on this month. Well, the interior is now complete on this 1978 Mercedes 450 SLC. This thing is just an awesome machine. I love how the interior turned out. We are in the stages now where we are driving it and getting all the adjustments made to it and fine-tuning done. We do have a PPF guy coming here shortly, and he'll be putting some paint protection film on there so we can do more of the driving and testing on it, and then it'll be off to the customer. This 70 Charger, as we reported last month, is now running and everything. We do have to do a couple little tuning things, and then we'll be driving it and working all the bugs out of it. And this is the 54 Studebaker wide body. We've been adjusting the front fenders, and we now have the hood on and all the panels are lining up much better. And this one also is in the stage of getting the final things tweaked on it, and then it needs to go to interior to get the interior completed. And this convertible Mustang is painted, and we've begun putting everything back together. The guys in the shop are calling this thing Purple Rain. Anyway, it's got a really cool color change that happens when the light reflects at different angles. So this color kind of flops to like a dark metallic blue, and then it looks like it's maroon and almost even a red at times. But essentially, most of the time it looks like it's purple. We're continuing to assemble this LS7 powered 66 Chevelle. It's looking really good now. We just got the 65 Barracuda back from media blasting, and surprise, there's actually no surprises. The window channels are pretty solid and it's looking really good. We're going to get some epoxy on this so it doesn't flash rust, and then we'll get busy on the build. We've got the final aluminum rear diffuser on our 79 Corvette shop car, as well as the front splitter. We're going to continue working on this, and it'll be on the road by the end of the year. We have completed fabricating all three pieces of this rear spoiler on this Monza out of metal. And as you know, we touched on this last month because we had just started on it, but these rear spoilers were made out of a urethane, a very soft material, and they had a lot of waves to them once they sat in the sun for a little bit of time. So this one obviously was warped from the sun, so we fabricated pretty much the exact duplicate out of metal. There's been no body work done on here. We just sprayed some primer on it to prevent flash rust, but turned out beautiful, and even the gaps are nice and even, which was not the case with the factory spoiler. We're having to do a little tweaking on the valve covers on this Roadrunner project with the old school Hemi. The engine bay, we typically put braces in there for additional stiffening, and the valve cover breather was giving us a little clearance issue. So we're working on that now, and then on to the next part of this build. We're doing a pre-runner style two-wheel drive chassis with long travel suspension on this Ford truck, and then it's getting shipped to California to the shop that's building it. We now have a clear vision of where this 68 Firebird project is going. All-wheel drive Tesla drivetrain, which we've had for some time. We've now 3D scanned all of those components and are working on the chassis design in engineering right now. This is my SLC project. I now have a clear vision of where I'm going with this car. I'm doing a normally aspirated LS7 engine, and I'm shooting for 800 horsepower, at least somewhere between 750 to 800. I may run E85 fuel or race gas, not sure which, probably be capable of doing either fuel. And I've got all the engine components at the machine shop right now. I will be building this engine myself, and hopefully I can get the rotating assembly back from being balanced and the block from being machined next week and have the engine assembled hopefully by next month's video. But that's my goal anyway. We'll see how that works out. And that's what's going on with this thing. I finally did get the missing piece of the puzzle, the bell housing from Mosler in the UK. So it is a bell housing that'll adapt the Hewland sequential gearbox to the LS engine. Anyway, thankful for Martin over there, and I'm going to get moving on this as soon as I can. Last month I reported that we had gotten the block and heads, the very unique block and heads for this 55 Chevy project so that we could fabricate the headers and exhaust system. This past week we did most of the fabrication of the header tubes and one of the headers, and that stuff is on the bench now to be tacked back together, final fitted, and then fully welded. So we're almost done with the header fabrication on this project, and then we'll move on to the exhaust system. This Mustang project came in last month, and now we're underway in tearing it apart to do the build on it. This one is the 351 Windsor with lots of horsepower. What is it we have here? Well, another one followed me home. Sorry, not sorry. This is a Triumph TR7, and it was underway to have a TR8 engine and transmission swap. TR7s and TR8s were basically identical cars, other than one had a 4-cylinder and the other had a Buick 215 that was essentially a Rover engine in it with a 5-speed manual transmission. So this was underway to become a TR8 clone. So the question is, do you think I should go forward and make this a TR8 clone with this little dinky 215 cubic inch engine with exhaust ports that my thumb would barely fit in? Or should I put a 5.3 liter LS out of our Vega project that's been sitting in the shelf for many years and a manual transmission and do that route? I'm pretty certain the Vega 5.3 all aluminum is lighter than this ancient 215 all aluminum, and I've got the parts laying around. Should we go TR8 clone or LS swap? Let us know in the comments. And we have a new acquisition here. This is our CNC controlled backstop brake press, and we've been waiting for this for about 8 months now. Finally came in and we were using it. This is used to bend a lot of heavy metal pieces that we use in manufacturing our chassis. Components such as you see here. This is a heavy bracket. It's a 3/16 thick. It's got a nice 90-degree bend. Anyway, this is programmable, and it'll simplify things for us in that we can do this stuff in-house instead of sending pieces out to be done on the outside. So that's all we have for this month. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you till next month.